Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So I got so the remix.
EMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty who's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it back. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe, shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together, take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make her heartbeat pause. That's my girl home
boy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, what is going on? Welcome back. I hope you all can hear me. How's everybody doing? Late night. I know it will soon be over again. Welcome back. There you go. Shout out. Let me see who's here with me. I'm here with me, of course. I see Embassy. How are you there? This came right on time. I was getting so bored at this airport where they mostly operate in the night. Oh, okay. Well done. Life with Natsu says MOP and here fighting sleep. Well done. How's everybody's day going? Or how was everybody's day, I should say, right? Hey Chinje, good to see you. Good evening. I see Rebecca. Welcome. Good to see you all. Just made it to the gym. Late night gym. I love it. Stay on top of your game. Love it. For Life Esther, hello. Good to see you. 9:37 Houston. I know, but that's early. For me, it's 10:38. Right. Yep. Anyway, good to see you all. We're gonna keep it very concise tonight. No more than 90 minutes. We want to keep it very concise, straight to the point. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. This is Metal Prestige. Yes, hit that like button. Do me a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in. I appreciate you. Over here, we talk about relationships. We talk about power, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and love. And you can download the book or you can book a coaching at loveandprestige.com. And the good news is that I am working on 2 courses, okay, for you all. I'm working on 2 courses for you all. One course is it's a 5-part, okay, it's for single and dating. The second course is on marriage and sex, so you should look forward to that. And I also see some people where I think it's D-Love and my brother Gracious Greatness, the mouth was watering on the march. We have that too. We're working on that. Another vision that I have is events, okay? Being able to bring you all to New York City for a weekend during the summer where we just hang out for a whole weekend and just talk. Obviously some personal coaching sessions or group coaching and stuff like that. So I have another vision around that, so where you can fly in from everywhere around the world, okay? But you just look out for some more great stuff like that coming up, okay? Do me a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in, okay? Hit that like button. I appreciate you, okay? Shout out to Gracious Greatness. I see you. All right, so let's do this. All right, let's get into it. We're talking about this story. 39 years of foolishness equals to secret of a happy marriage. Has anybody seen that video anywhere? Anybody seen that video? I'm just gonna go ahead and play it for you, and then make it quick. There's a lot of advices out there, crazy advices out there that honestly I gotta keep paying attention to them, particularly because they go viral more than the kind of content we create here, of course. But as much as we can tackle them, we tackle them so that you too can go out there and start spreading the message. Let me load this up real quickly. I don't know if you can notice that I'm a little bit I'm full. I just finished eating. I ate late night, bad habits, but I did. Okay, so I just finished eating white rice, ayamashi, egg, assorted. I'm not supposed to do that, but I'm staying late. I'm staying up late, so I should be fine. But it's about I'm not supposed to eat after 7 p.m. But I did. Okay. Let me open this mama for you. This auntie has something to say, and I thought we should just go through it together. See if there's any lesson in it. I saw a video of a man in his farm on Tunde Ednot. No, not that one. No, not that one. Not at all. This is some hunty. We have a hunty here who's trying to teach us. She's been in marriage for 39 years and she wanted to share. Some of our parents, they don't help because they don't pay attention to how the times have changed. It doesn't mean the principles have changed, but how you apply the principles have changed. Okay? If times are changing and change is the only constant in the human experience, then it makes sense that while some principles are gidiba, like 10 toes down, how you apply them has to change. You're dealing with human beings, and we need to pay attention to things like that. I'm going to share my screen right now, and then we'll talk about this mama. So she has some words to share with her. 39 years of life. Well, not exactly life, more like she's talking about marriage, right? 39 years versus life, right? So I'm going to play the video. I want us to talk about it, and then we'll take it from there, okay? Let's see.
I still remain Pastor Julie Onoviona. I've come to realize in this.
Wait, did she say she's a pastor? Let's go back.
That you are being with my husband. I realized I had to play the fool.
Wait, let's go back. Let me play it again.
Hello, I still remain Pastor Julie Onoviona. I've come to realize in this 39 years of being with my husband.
39 years.
I had to play the fool for the marriage to work.
She's had to play the fool for the marriage to work. Ladies and gentlemen, what says you? She's had to play the fool, right? So she didn't say 39 years of foolishness. That's just title work, okay? But technically, 39 years of foolishness or playing the fool. She wasn't being okay. So foolishness almost indicate that she was being a fool. No, she wasn't a fool. She was playing the fool, right? So what do you all think so far? She said 39 years of playing a fool to her husband. She's been married for 39 years. This is why I get pushback sometimes. I get pushback from people in the dating scene. They're like, marriage is hard. I'm like, no, what do you mean marriage is hard? Life is hard, if that's what you're talking about. But marriage is, if you're going to participate in marriage, that's an additional layer. But I'm guessing that you're looking for some kind of reward from marriage. So you should expect, right? So I get this pushback sometimes that when I'm trying to make a submission on a platform, on a panel, on Clubhouse, an audio app somewhere, when you say you've been married for 50 years, some people will just be like, look at what, let me see, I just saw that just now. They will just say congratulations, right? And this is why we get this kind of pushback, because sometimes we want to tell people like, hey, I've had some experience. I beg, hit the like button. Thank you. Hit the like button if you're new. If you haven't hit the like button yet, thank you. I appreciate you. And share to your post. Just share. You can share to your post on YouTube as well. Okay. Just click on share and click share to YouTube post. It should work fine. Or share to anywhere on social media. I appreciate you. It's late night, not our normal time. It's okay. So this is why we get some of those pushback, and because of advices, because some people advise straight from the surface like this, right? They don't really think deep about what they're about to say and the people they're saying it to before they shoot the advice. If you had to play a fool for 39 years, if I wasn't married, myself, I go ask myself, what kind bargain be that one? I wouldn't want to be married. If I wasn't married and somebody's trying to sell me on marriage and they're telling me that you're going to have to play a fool, or you tell me it's hard. If you tell me it's hard and I buy into that, I might not get married though. I'm just being honest with you. I won't get married because, I just think it's a terrible deal, personally, Now, if you tell me that, no, it's going to take some work, obviously you're getting to know a person, just like life, anything that's worthwhile. If you tell me there's work or it's hard, you're going to have to tell me the reward in working so hard. I need to know, you need to spell it out. And if I'm lame enough to not even ask that question, I'll be scared like everybody else in the dating scene right now. Everybody has fear right now. They're afraid because everybody keeps telling them it's hard. They keep telling them they have to play a fool for 39 years. To get what? Yeah. So, I don't know, she's going to have to come. I'm married. I've been married for 16 years. Now it's going to be 16 years in August. So, I feel sorry for anybody who listens to this message, who literally buys into it and say, oh, now I have to vet and see every red flag before I go into it because they told me I'm going to have to play a fool for 39 years. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. But let me keep going. Maybe she has some points, Let's see. I just think they play a fool.
Playing the fool even when I know I am right.
She has to play the fool even when she knew that she was right or when she knows that she's right.
Foolishness in relationship.
Oh, she actually said foolishness. So, listen, when I see some of this video and I hear the first line or two, I was like, I want to do this with the Prestige family, right? I literally didn't play past the first two lines. So I'm listening to you in real time. I'm listening with you in real time. I kind of know that there's going to be some foolishness in it. But then she said it herself. Voila! Hey! This is why people are struggling. This is why people are struggling. Okay? Now, I don't think you should go into marriage thinking it's just going to be everyday happy. But I don't think I need to sell you that it's hard before you get it, that life can be challenging. And if you're going to fight for anything, if you're going to build anything, if you're going to achieve anything, either we're talking about a college degree or you're talking about getting your kids through AP classes, right? That's a struggle. That's not a struggle. That's a journey I'm on with my son right now. If you're trying to get a master's degree, anything that's worthwhile in life, we kind of know that it's going to take effort and work. And yes, sometimes it'll be hard. But if you are saying marriage is hard, and that's your message, You're scaring people more than, I think it's, I don't know if I should call it fear mongering, right? I don't know, But Rebecca says, I don't agree. For life said, me, I can't play a fool. Oh, it's 2023. Happy. I don't blame you for life, Esther. In marriage, we all have our point of weakness. During my weakness, my partner will be the fool, meaning the mature one. Right? Okay. Other times of his weakness, I'll be the fool. All right. Some points there, right? Maybe I can give her some points there, right? Because that makes sense, Chia, right? I can give her some points. Let me see here. It can't be one person the whole damn time. The way she sounded, look like you were thinking ahead of me. The way she sounded, it sounds like it's one person doing all the playing the fool. Right? All right. Let's see. If all it is in order to maintain married life ain't worth it. I'm guessing you're saying it's not worth it, right? Or ain't want it. Yeah. Let's see. She might still have some good points there. Let's keep going.
For you to sustain your marriage, you have to play the fool. Playing the fool when even though you know you're right from your left, the man is claiming right, you are claiming right. It will not work. And that's why one has to.
That's some good points there, right? Gentlemen, this modern woman will not play a fool with you for 39 years. Don't try it. Don't try this at home, okay? Even if this is her mother talking right now, okay? It's not going to work, okay? Now, if we're talking about listening, active listening, is that what we mean by playing a fool, right? Like, even though you kind of know you're right, but you're assuming that since this person's adamant about their point of view, let me listen a little bit longer. Maybe I can understand. Okay, let's find a middle ground somewhere. Let's try to understand each other. Is that what it means to play a fool? Because again, this languaging means everything, right? Words are very important, right? Some words carry heavier weight than others, right? So I'm not sure. I'm not saying she's completely wrong, right? But foolishness for 39 years, for 3, 4, 5 years, for 7 years before you guys figure out the equilibrium, right? Because that's gonna happen. You might say, yes, it was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning. But I swear, nobody's waiting for 39 years. Okay? Not even men. Okay? Not even men. And men tend to never leave marriage, even if they shut down on the marriage emotionally.
Play the fool while the other person remains the one that knows it all. That's the secret of these 39 years of being together.
All right, so that's her secret of the 39 years being together. Now, if you're trying to listen to a person to see their standpoint before you try to sell your own standpoint to them, that is not playing a fool, okay? That is not playing a fool. As a matter of fact, that's part of seduction, okay? That's part of seduction. That's part of identifying your power. Your power, you have a lot more power in silence than you have in being loud or playing competition with the person with who's going to be right first. There's a lot more power in your silence, particularly when it involves active listening, so you can see where they're coming from, so you can effectively sell them your own standpoint, right? If you don't listen to where they're coming from, it's going to look like basketballs, right? If that's what mama is saying, I completely get it. She's right. But one of the problems that parents is that with our elderly ones is that they have the experience, they know what they're trying to say, but the languaging can be quite off, can be quite discouraging, playing a fool is an extreme. And especially if she's going to use the word foolishness for 39 years. Yeah, that's a lot. Now, maybe she didn't mean that, but if a young person interprets that as foolishness, we've got a problem. We have a serious problem. Okay? If a lot of people are being trained to, hey, some foolishness, that's a problem because it's not sustainable. Especially in 2023, it's just not sustainable. People have options, they have choices. If they don't think they have choices, social media and reality TV shows will show them their choices. And those are the forces that you have to fight. You just wake up one day, your spouse is gone. They've been shut down mentally for 5 years. Gone.
He shock you.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot to work with. I get where she's coming from. And I'm not trying to discount where she's coming from. But I thought we should talk about this so that when you hear our parents talk like this sometimes, you want to apply some grace. There's something they're trying to say. I don't think this woman played a fool all those times. If her husband would have his own story, I promise you, her husband will have his own story. He probably thought it was the one playing the fool. He would probably swear up and down it was one playing the fool all the time, right? So, Rebecca says we both work on it. Eventually, sometimes it takes one person to start. It takes one person, which is what she's calling playing a fool, to lean in and listen actively and see where the other person is coming from. The reason why you would do that, the best way and the most sustainable way to do that is to first of all realize there's a reward on the other end of getting this person to feel heard, getting this person to feel seen, right? There's a reward on the other hand for you, right? Then that's not playing a fool. That's you almost, that's the other person actually being the fool because you are reading them, right? Not you playing the fool. Now, it feels like you're playing the fool once you start getting caught up in your emotions and you feel like, why should I be the only one apologizing all the time? Why am I the only one always, right? Or you feel like anything you say, it's always feel like it's wrong, right? If you're feeling that way, yes, you can start to feel very quickly like you're the one playing the fool. But that mindset is not good because you will get weak very quickly. It's not sustainable to be playing the fool or to be thinking that this is you playing the fool. That mindset is not sustainable. You will get weaker and weaker very fast, and then you overreact. Okay? All right. So, my dear, playing a fool doesn't mean get sense. It's just picking our battles. We can't win all the time. That's a good point. But I'm trying to do like an all-inclusive interpretation of what she's trying to say. So you don't say, hey, it's playing a foolishness. No, it's not necessarily. You might get into positions where you feel like, especially if you've interpreted that as fully playing a fool and you tried it because you want your marriage to work so far, but the only thing you heard was playing a fool. Nobody ever took the time to explain what the reward is for like you. When you get through to the other side, when you calm down, let them almost seems like they are right, but no, you're just hearing them out, see where they're coming from, right? It's not about being right, it's about creating unity. Unity is a moving target, right? And if you have unity, that's it. That's all you need to create a successful long-term relationship and marriage. Unity, right? But it's a moving target. So sometimes how you got there today is not how you get there tomorrow. So it takes a continuous, it's like I'm always in motion, actively listen to the other person, right? And sometimes you're not able to, like he was saying, you're just caught up in your emotion. Hopefully the other person is able to carry that weight, or they've learned that they need to carry that weight when you're caught up in your own emotions in your own way too, right? Playing a fool as a what do you call it? Playing a fool literally doesn't work. It won't work. Okay? If that's what she meant, like literally, it's not sustainable because you're going to feel like somebody is cheating you out and you do have options. You can jump on Google right now. The manosphere will show you weird illusions of options. Of the feminist movement will show you weird illusions of options. And then you can effectively lose your family for overreacting. Because you start to feel like it's not fair. Then the fairness thing will come into the equation. Because why should you be the one playing fool all the time? But if you think of it as seduction, you're not measuring against each other, right? You kind of know that your momuboti de my hand. It's different from playing a fool, right? If you're like, I'll listen to you, okay, what you have to, okay, all right. Well, this is how I see it. After you've patiently observed where they're coming from, right? This is how I see it, right? As opposed to let me play a fool. At some point, playing a fool would not be enough because nobody wants to be playing a fool. Not in 2023, maybe in 1993, not now. For the most part, it won't work. It's not sustainable. Okay? Playing means different things to different people. So know what kind of fool you are capable to play. That's the part I'm talking about. That phrase for most people it's not sustainable. Okay? You have to be careful with that phrase. That's all I'm saying. Chioma play fool and receive 3 baby mama. Same with Annie. I can't. You guys. Another angle. Excuse me. That's funny. Yeah, so my kind of fool. That's funny. Playing a fool might mean different things to different people, but understand what kind of fool you're capable. Okay, we already covered that. Who you are playing with, otherwise it will backfire. Yeah. If you're thinking of it as playing a fool, it just won't last. If you have thought it all the way through and you understand that playing a fool means it's highly rewarding for you on the other hand, and sure, but playing a fool for 39 years, that doesn't sound rewarding to most people. I understand what it means, but what about if your fool is not working for you? Yeah, you'll start thinking that very quickly if you think of it as you're playing a fool. But if you think of it that if you know this person's mumu button and it works all the time, you're not thinking it's gonna work. Like you're not in Is Coming, right? You're not in Is Coming, right? You're not playing Is Coming. Like one day to come, one day. Let me just keep playing a fool. At about 39 years mark, finally, like no, right? But if you're thinking of it like if playing a fool to you means actual playing and not the fool part, right? Like but you're also listening because this is your partner. We're talking about your husband or your wife. You can't just be tricking them. It has to be something that's sustainable beyond just this moment, right? Then I can rock with it, right? But play, they play, they play, that part, I can rock with that. The fool part, be careful with that too, because if you're playing a fool, you might end up resenting that person for playing a fool for the last 2 years and they're just not budging. They're not moving. They just have bad behavior. Hit that like button if you're just coming in. I appreciate you. She will eventually get tired of it when it's working against her. They did that to save their marriage, but it doesn't work right now. You gotta be careful. That's all I'm saying. Instead of saying playing a fool, think of it as learn how to seduce your partner. Okay? Seduction has value in it, meaning you're actually feeding them with something. You're being deliberate about it. You understand what you're trying. Also, you're connected to the end reward of it for both of you. They get value, you get value, you get what you want. Okay? It's not just kerewa. It's basically every area of your life as a married couple. Think of it as seduction. Playing a fool, playing. A fool, be careful, because what that means to everybody is just different. Just insight. As always, these things are not absolute, just things for you to pay attention to. We have to find a balance somewhere and re-strategize. Some things we let it slide, other things we stand our ground. That's true. When you're doing life with another person, But another thing is that you're open to that. You like the idea. It's like you giving to them, right? Again, just the difference in wordings can make all the difference in terms of mindsets. The effect I'm trying to create is in the mindset, not necessarily the words. Okay, the words can change meaning from people to people, right? But I'm also looking at a social level, a societal level, right? For the most part, some words mean a lot, right? You're giving to them, right? But you can't be giving something they don't realize they are receiving. You gotta be careful with that. Okay? In the short term, they might not realize it, but by tomorrow, by 2-3 days, can they at least appreciate that you did something for them? If they're not seeing that, it could be so many other reasons. Maybe you're not speaking their love language, which means you're playing a fool and you are going to resent this idea very soon or somewhere down the line, right? They're not, you are hoping that one day they will change or they will see that you're doing so much, right? They're not receiving your gifts, right? Whatever that gift is, right? They're not receiving it. But your giving has to mean they're able to receive it. Okay? If they're not receiving it, you're not listening. Okay? You're just trying to give. You're trying to play a fool because Auntie says play a fool. But you're not paying attention to the fact that they need to actually receive it, right? There's so many of us that are in romantic relationships and you're giving so much, but the other person is not receiving it. It's probably because you're not listening. Okay? So effectively, you're not really giving because part of what you give is giving them your listening ears, not physically, but paying that close attention to what is it that they value. Remember, seduction has value in it, right? You're literally, it's like fishing, like a fisherman. It's like, like you put bait, right? Just think about it like that, right? Bait, right? You give them something that attracts them to you, right? That means they see value in it. They're attracted to you, to your ideas, to listening to you, right? You want to do it enough time until it becomes second nature, okay? Until it becomes just second nature, okay? So it's tricky, but when you're just playing a fool for how long? She said 39 years. I don't think she played a fool for 39 years, but I think somebody's going to interpret that as 39 years. Okay? So it no go work. All right, let's see how far we go. Brother Patrick, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. How are you, sir? Playing a dumb in the marriage. Wala do. Yes, so let me play a little bit more of it.
Playing the fool doesn't mean you don't know your rights. It does not make you to be a slave. Hello.
Let's go to the next one.
Pastor Julie Onoviona.
She's a pastor, by the way.
Fully that you are being cheated, knowing fully that your spouse is playing on your integrity, but because of...
So now your partner is playing on your integrity, but you should play a fool. Everybody just they play. The
vow you have made together to stay till eternity, and for God. And if children are involved, because of the children, you just have to overlook so many things. And that's where the place of forgiveness comes in. Forgiveness because of God, because of the relationship.
Forgiveness because of God, right?
Because of the children, and for you to move forward. So for you to sustain your relationship, for you to continue in the relationship, one person has to play the fool. It means one has to be blind to whatever you see, and the other one deaf to whatever you hear.
All right, so listen. She did not say anything about what is the reward system here. If anything, she's indicating that your reward is in heaven. Abby.
Realize.
If anything, she's indicating that your reward is in heaven, not inside this life. Inside life. Ha! Voila. Anyway, listen, what I do here is I spell everything out. I don't think she's wrong. I think we needed to add context to it. Okay? Just playing a fool in 2023 will not work. Okay? for most people. It just won't work. They will try it. Many people will try it. Many people that crave the idea of marriage, that really wants to make it work so badly, will try it. But it's not sustainable because they can't unsee the idea of options. They have options. They have choices. They're going to get frustrated. They have friends. They're going to listen to this social media street and be like, I don't have to deal with that. But if they see it, in my opinion, if they see it as, no, I know that everybody cares about something. Everybody, including my partner, cares about something. My job is to find out what is it that they value, that they care about. Use that, leverage that to serve them. Why? Because there's reward on the other end for me. It is precisely their mumu button, and I will press it to build our relationship for 39 years. It's like, she might be saying the same thing, but I think more people will probably receive it better, right? It's the same issues that I have with marriage is hard. Why should I go into marriage that's hard? Like, why? Because you want to have kids? Maybe I don't want kids. What do you mean? Like, a lot of people will tell you straight up, I don't want marriage, I don't want kids. So now you're left with no talking points except trying to manipulate them. In fact, I was in a clubhouse room today where there was a title says feminism enables women abuse, because they're trying to manipulate women away from feminism. Manipulation doesn't work. Okay, you're just manipulating. It doesn't work, because they will ask you more questions, and it already sounds like you're too weak to give any kind of value to whatever it is you're selling them on, right? So for you, if you're listening, seduction is still key, okay? Because that's how you create attraction. And if you're, that's exactly how you got that person. You need to kind of maintain it. Does that make sense, right? You might not realize you were seducing them, but you kind of have to maintain the same way you were able to attract that person. Just because you're married doesn't mean it's over. You have to maintain whatever created the attraction. And what most people do, what you would do probably, is get complacent, and we're married. Let's just be here, and we don't have to smell good anymore. We don't have to look sexy anymore. Life just happens. It's no one's fault. It just happens. So if you're aware, it's half of the battle won. At least you can push a little bit hard against that. Okay. Let's look at some of the comments. The top comment here. So El Tobilola says, "Thank you, ma'am, but we prefer two intentional people who are both open to working together to make the marriage work." See, that's how this person interpreted what she had to say. Like I said, the husband will have his own story, how he played a fool too, right? But the husband is not talking right now. And she never gave us what the reward was, except 39 years of marriage. People don't care about 39 years of marriage if it's going to be playing a fool all the way through. They don't. It's 2023, right? So we got to come up with better talking points, to encourage people, so that, because we do need a family structure for our kids, for ourselves, for when we do get old, right? So let's see. Juliet here says, "These are the women who enable men." She didn't mention anything about the man, but that's how she's interpreting it, right? There are two people here, not the topmost, because this is rising to the top because they're the most popular comments on the article, right? The topmost comments did not interpret it the way Chinye interpreted it, right? There are more than enough wise women out here like Chinye that would say, I know what she's trying to say. Most people are like, they're triggered, like 39 years of foolishness. What are you talking about? Right? That's what they would say, So these are some of the issues that we're dealing with, okay? These are the women who enable men. The men never take responsibility except God delivers them. All right, so you can hear generalization coming out of the woodworks. They also raise their sons to do same. The sons go on to marry women and expect these standards, calling it submission. It's a vicious cycle. No woman is a rehabilitation center for broken men. Please. There you have it. There you have it, though. Hey, Big Way. How you doing, Big Way? Good to see you, Big Way. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Thank you. All right, let me see what now they talk about here. For life, Esther says, story for the gods. Akuko. Thank you, mommy. I can't endure the play. We all will have to endure, but it's better when you like this person enough that you don't mind enduring for them. I just think that's always better, We have to compromise, we have to endure, but it's easier when you like the person, It's easier when you know that this person has your back too, from time to time, right? As opposed to, no, let's just sacrifice indefinitely without knowing where we're going to. Like, what? Nah, that's not gonna work. Hey, Binkwe. I'm not surprised. That is how our generations did and still do marriage. Excuse me, ma. It is no longer applicable in 2023. It's not sustainable. It can't, it won't work. People have choices and options. Women, but in particular, have the options they used to be here. Now is here. So, does that mean you have to compromise on your standards? No. You just have to be aware of what you're dealing with. You're not going to be an incompetent man right now and stay married. It's just not going to work. Okay? You're not going to be an incompetent woman right now and stay married. It's not going to work. Okay? You need skills. Okay? Like I said earlier, I am working on two courses. Okay? One for single and dating, one for marriage and sex. So look out for that. We'll be dropping that here for you, right here for you. Okay. This woman, someone please disconnect her internet. Her delivery sounds one-sided and provided no way out. She's a pastor. There are many of our pastor misses like that. We're trying so hard to move away from this kind of struggle love. I think our teachings should be based on how we can do marriage better, but from her experience, not asking us to join her marriage misery. Yeah, so the thing is that, especially for the gentleman, what I'm teaching you is a lot easier than the struggle of. Okay, but again, you have to have foresight. You have to see all the way through to a woman who is absolutely in love with you, not because she's traditional BS. They're all modern. All of them are modern. Okay, so stop the cap. Okay, all of them are modern women.
Stop the cap.
Okay, but you have to see all the way through. Just imagine the idea of a modern woman who is heads over heel in love with you. Okay, to the point that she doesn't want to look some type of funny way on the internet because she knows that she's part of your image. She's not going to be twerking on the internet just because she's bored, right? She's not going to be going wild and crazy on the internet or yelling at the top of her lungs on a panel somewhere because somebody triggered her, because she can't even relate with a lot of the things that people are triggered about. Just imagine that kind of woman, right? What is it going to take you? What kind of man are you going to have to become to attract such a woman? Yes, she's modern like everybody else that lives in the modern times. Okay? What is it going to take you? Those are the questions you want to be asking yourself, right? What is it going to take her to want to be traditional with you, right? She knows that you value those traditional things, you're fantasizing about, but she doesn't mind because she likes you that much, right? As opposed to she's just supposed to do that. And you know that that's not working. Obviously, that's not working, right? What is it going to take is the question. What kind of man are you going to have to become? The same thing goes for you ladies. What kind of woman do you need to become to attract the kind of man you're looking for? It's 2023, Abby. You can't afford to wait for the man to do all the emotional weight. They're not competent like that anyway. I'm being honest with you, okay? It's going to take a lot of work. The competency is not there, okay? But it's not, like I always say, it's better that a man can lead. A man needs to be able to lead. If a man can't lead, it's just not sustainable to expect the woman to lead, particularly at the emotional level. Okay, especially if she's paying significant amount of bills with you. which is majority of you. So gotta be careful. This fool thing is on different level. Don't compare my fool to your fool. We are dealing with different individuals. That's another part of the conversation, right? So it's very easy to take anything I even say here and go and generalize into your relationship, and it won't work because everybody's story is different. The principles work, but the application is different from people to people, right? Both parties need to be intentional about making their marriage work. Some are crazier than the other, act wise to each other. Some are crazier than the other, act wise on your own level. Yes. There's levels to everybody's madness. But yes, let's see. I think I've got a couple more stories to cover here today. Right? Yep. And let's see. I'll be right back. All right. How many of you have had a chance to catch up with the Love and Marriage Huntsville? I told you I'll be reviewing this season because there's lots and lots of lessons in this season. I told you. So I'm going to do some quick reviews. There's a few lessons I wanted to extract out of this last episode. And then we'll take it from there. Let's see here. Just a few lessons that I wanted to extract. Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's the name of the show. It's on Holmes Network. Anybody get a chance? I said chance. Huntsville. So they're on season 6, episode 3 right now. Let me share my screen. Share the screen. There you go. All right. So this is Latisha. This episode is called Hasta Latisha, baby. Well, if you remember on the last episode, okay, or you didn't get a chance, don't worry. I'll bring you up to speed. The lessons are the lessons. You know, remember I told you she was making up with her cousin. This cousin right here. You know, one of the things I talk about here, people. It's very important that you understand that the skills you're learning here will be applicable in every types of relationships, especially relationships where you're not getting a paycheck on Friday. Sometimes relationship with your siblings. Okay? Relationship with your siblings. So with your cousins, you know, that cousin that gets on your nerve. Sometimes you have to play a fool. But you are playing a fool. It's a play. But you also know they are going back home. You're not sleeping in bed with them every day. So it's a little bit slightly different, but similar, idea. But let me share my screen right now. That's the cousin right there. That's cousin of Latisha. Let me see. Okay, so you didn't... I am not familiar with the show. It's called Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's on Holmes Network. You can find it on YouTube here too. Like this one right now is on YouTube. I'm not going to play it. But I'm just going to scroll through the scenes and then extract some of the lessons. Okay. That I remember. This is one of the shows I watch with my wife. Alright. So this guy is called Marcel. That's Marcel right there. Marcel hanging out with his father. Okay, Marcel is one of the husbands of the main couple of the show, hanging out with his father. I'm gonna turn on the caption so I can get some of the words. Okay, they were grabbing a smoke together. Okay, I think that's a good thing. Okay, not the smoke, just the fact that they're hanging out together, having a conversation. And he told his son, "It's like, I'm proud of you, right? He said, I'm proud of you. And he was like, thanks, Dad. Let me tell you something. The children need their dad. Okay? Now I'm saying that I'm focusing on the dad because I know typically they have their mom. But they need both parents is really the point. Okay? What is he saying here? I don't want my kids. He had to work hard and he's trying to tell them to calm down with all the work. He's not listening, by the way. Marso, this guy has coconut head. Okay, he has coconut head. He doesn't listen. So he's working so hard, gathering all that money. They're trying to tell him, you need to calm down, enjoy that money. And he's like, oh, there's no time to rest right now. The father is like, listen, I worked all my life. I wish. He said he worked, I forgot how many years he said, you know. But at least he has his dad to keep reminding him. Sometimes we all have coconut head. We have people in our lives that can keep reminding us, right? Let's see here. All right, so that was that scene. Now this one's, they keep bringing up issues. These are ladies. Oh, the rain. The drama never ends, right?
Oh, beauty.
It never ends, right? See, I wasn't privy to. Sometimes my wife would be like, you don't know women. She tells me that. I'm like, what's the big deal? You know, she's like, after a while, when I started watching some of these shows with her, she's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, because me, I give benefit of the doubt easily, right? I can just see, I'm actively looking for your mumu button, okay? That's me. That's why it's kind of easy for me to teach this as well. I'm actively, because I know everybody cares about something. Every one of us will care about something. Whatever it is that people care about is directly correlated with their mumu button, okay? It could be their children, okay? But you can, by the way, it can be used for good, both bad and evil. Sorry, but both good and evil. Of course, I encourage you to use it for good, right? So, because we're also speaking power language now, right? So they get together, and as usual, it was mostly argument, talking about how they've offended each other, what you said last year, what you said a few months ago that affected me, somebody taking sides, you know, a lot of drama. Okay, so the main issue with these ones are like, you know, Yale and Iyawo, meaning they're both married to brothers, right? Their husbands are brothers to each other, okay, like actual blood brothers. So they've had their ups and downs. Ladies, spa, what do you guys, spa date, what do you call it? Going on a spa with your friends, whatever you want to call it, right? I thought the idea was to go there and relax, right? Well, anyway, it's not like that. All right, so this is a very good scene. This is what I mean by the kids need their father, right? So this is Latisha, and they're sitting together at a dining table having dinner. This is their son. He's about the same age as my son. And what did he say? He said something to the effect that the wife is barely home to cook these days. And the son is like, why would you let your spouse ever talk to you like that? Or something like that. He said. The son said that. And it's like, why would you take your mom's side? See, when you're looking at that when you're looking at that, like that whole scenery playing out, right? It seems like the children care about their mother. I experienced the same thing with me, right? Just before I came downstairs to come and be doing this live session with you all, my daughter was crying, okay? Because literally I've been out all day and I just came in and, you know, I'm like, no, I got to do a show tonight. Like, I'll be hanging out with you in the morning, right? But she was crying, you know? But that's not always the case. Sometimes they are more attached to their mother and it seems like that's just what it is and all they need is their mother. And that's not true. That's a misconception, you know? you need to pay attention to. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't see, right? But these kids, if something happens and their father is not going to be in their life, it's going to affect them. The idea of a father is the rock. He's always there. It seems like it's not really appreciated, right? Because hey, it's just dad, right? He's highly appreciated. He's needed. He makes everyone around them feel safe, including the woman, if he's behaving, of course, right? But the idea, the presence of him makes them feel safe, right? Makes them feel like there's a man around the house. The idea is not to coddle him and you can see that in the way we celebrate Mother's Day and the way we celebrate Father's Day. We're not supposed to complain about that. It's just what it is, right? But wait until the father is no longer in the picture, right? Some of the things we have to pay attention to. So after the kids got up, they're still talking about the dynamics of their family, right? They're talking about the dynamics of she's working, he's not working. She's owning a big chunk of their business, right? But she's not really involved in the day-to-day operation. You're fantasizing about doing business with your husband. That's not always fun, just so you know. Okay, that's not always fun. You're fantasizing about, I want to get out there, I want to be participating. Like, sure. By the way, if she wants to do that, by all means, create an avenue for her to exercise. Being active too, right? But long term, she's going to need to fall back on you. Okay? Because remember, at the end of the day, it's about mental, it's about emotional, right? It's not about what it really looks like, but sometimes you have to demonstrate that you're open to ideas for them to feel safe. Okay? I experienced the same thing too. We started Lola and Ola about 2018. Lola and Ola is the platform is older than Men of Prestige, which is just about 6 months old. Like, she's excited, yeah, Then when the work don't land, the reality kicks in. So after a while, I realized that, if she's excited, yeah, sure, let's do this. Once she my expectations are managed. Manage your expectations, okay? So, but I think it's cute that you want to work together in the same business. You want to do a project together. I think when things start to play out, the idea of playing a fool really start to show up, right? Like, that's not what she said before. Yes, that's because she didn't feel what she's feeling right now. Welcome to the real world. Okay, it goes both ways, but mostly it's women. Women will tell you how they feel right now, what they want to make happen right now, and how they're feeling right now. And then 2 days from now, you're wondering, that's not what you said. Yeah, welcome to the real world. Okay. When it comes to the motherly duty, for the most part, you don't really have to worry about that. They got that. It's natural, the nurturing aspect of the family. The making everything beautiful. You set the tone and she builds the home. You never really have to worry about that as long as you're focused on setting the tone. Just keep in mind that setting the tone is also a moving target. Okay. Now, why would you do that? It's kind of like, why would you get into marriage that's hard? Why would you play a fool? Why would you, quote unquote, seduce, right? It's because a woman who is multiplying and reciprocating is the sweetest thing you can have in the world. If you're patient enough to go through that process, especially in the beginning, or you're going through some crisis and you're trying to come out of that crisis, that's the most beautiful thing you can get in the world. So it's worth it. And yes, your patience will be tested. Okay. So that's let me see if there's anything else I'm trying to figure out here. Yeah, the spa dates, women stuff. I don't really care about that. All right. Except that, ladies, you need to understand that, again, with your friends, this whole relationship thing is always playing out. Sometimes you just have to wait and be patient with what people are saying, right? Sometimes you just have to know people for who they are and leave it alone, especially if they will go back home at night or maybe in the next 3 days. You just have to be a little bit patient. Okay. Let's see. So this particular episode, there's not much around marriage. There's not much. Let me see. If people are talking about their cousins, this lady you're looking at right now, she decided to chime in on the issue between Latisha and her cousin. You can see Latisha is the one on our right here. She's talking to her cousin. They're talking their issue out, and then a complete stranger, their friends on the show, she decided to chime in. She decided to chime in and start basically instigating more trouble and say, you should have done that to your cousin. You should have who called you into this matter? Let me tell you something. People might look like they are fighting each other. It could be a husband, a wife. It could be if you're good, be careful with butting into people's issues. Okay, if they're not physically fighting each other, you don't have to jump in the middle. You just have to know how to separate yourself, especially when they seem closer. We're talking about family or their husband and wife, and let them talk it out. Okay, if they haven't invited you into it, you're not helping either of the party by taking sides. You're making things worse. Okay, and then last, if you don't listen to that, you go kwambuku. So that's all from this episode. Again, go find it. I think you will get more insight from me just watching the show. It's on YouTube. If you want to ask me for it on the community page anyway, I'll drop the link there for you. But this is actually an episode of it. It's only 40 minutes. Watch it. I think there's some real lessons in it. You can see these things that we're talking about playing out. Real life example. Reason why I like covering it is because they are real life examples. Okay? And as opposed to just a bunch of generalized nonsense that everybody's pushing around the internet. Okay? So I've got a few more that I want to cover tonight. And I'll be right back. All right, so this young lady right here, Empress in Jama. Everybody saw that news? Empress in Jama. Finally, this reports that they caught the husband. Let me share my page real quickly. This lady right here, right? Empress, remember that guy? Everybody remember that guy's story? The guy who blackmailed. Well, yeah, was blackmailing the young lady. The man that blackmailed. Let me go back a little bit. The man that blackmailed, duped actress Empress Njema and still posted her nudes online has finally been arrested. Okay, so if you remember that we covered that story here, because again, people think they can get away with stuff, you know. Oftentimes people think they can just get away with stuff. I don't know why people do that, but I guess greed, you know. When greed is in the eyes of some people, they don't know how to control themselves. Okay. So we actually covered this Empress in Jama. Yep. So let me play this really quickly and then we'll talk about it.
While I be like Jingle Bellu, finally they caught the man. I'm sure you guys remember the story of actress Empress in Jama that one man was blackmailing her and then the man leaked her nude videos and pictures online. That the whole thing went viral, that Empress Jama lost her Instagram account, and the whole thing was so messy that the man was even threatening her that was going to do worse. Finally, the man has been caught. His name is George, and he was arrested in Liberia by the Liberian police after blackmailing dupes several women in Liberia as well.
Patron! God damn it, also, yeah. I don't want to come for you, but now you're going to be here. Now you're going to be catching the
This man has allegedly ruined so many women's life. Like, he goes for the big top women, blackmail them, dupe them, threaten them, collect their nude pictures and videos and everything. Started chatting with them with it. Finally, he has been arrested and he's currently at the Liberia's National Police headquarters. Finally. But then again, what I don't understand is, why is he laughing? Why is he smiling, all smiling in the police station? I don't get it. He seems so unbothered. Ha! It is, well, finally they caught him. While I be like Jingle Bellu, finally they caught the man. I'm sure you guys remember the story of actress Empress Njama, that one man was blackmailing her, and
so finally they caught him. Let me see this other one here.
Filed or brought to our attention against Nicholas Jack Davis.
Nicholas Jack Davis. That's a grown man, 39 years old.
Of which suspect Davis has victimized several females, over 20 victims, female victims. As a result, Nicola Jack Davis is involved with absconding with their personal effects, including phones, bags, gold, as well as other materials, expensive materials. And so, with the latest reports or complaints brought against suspect Davis, we began a robust search operation of his whereabouts. And our search operation succeeded last night at the Miami Beach in Painesville, where he was caught trying or attempting to victimize some other females. He was arrested between 9 to 10 o'clock of yesterday evening and brought at central headquarters here and is being investigated. There were prior information about suspect Davis carrying out similar act.
It was caught in Liberia, by the way. Liberia, something like that, right? Yeah, Liberia police.
Actress also fell victim of a scamming operation. Suspect Davis informed our investigators that he spent approximately 17 months in Nigeria prior to the commission of the act against the Nigerian female actress. Filed or brought to our attention against Nicholas Jack Davis, 39 years old. Of which...
All right. So that's that news right there. Wow. Wow. Let's see. I wanted to share this with you. So I did say something about it some few months ago. And I wanted to bring that back up to... Yeah, let's cover this really quickly.
You can trace any digital creative back to where it comes from. Every device has IDs. Every device. Every single device has IDs. Okay? And there are people that get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars just to nail you, find you, and put you away forever. That's all they get paid to do. Especially if you're dumb enough to think you can just sleep with some random girl who is reckless or careless and get on the internet and be making threats.
Trouble, and people started telling me I was just laughing. Like, seriously? I don't understand. I swear to God, I just miss you.
He said, I swear to God, I just miss you. This is a person that does not care about life. Ladies, some people don't really care about life. You know, that would never happen to me. I'm gonna sue. Like, dude, they may just not care about life at all. This completely may be a, S mission. Anyway, that's what I was saying about how long ago was this? Let's see. This was 3 months ago. This happened 3 months ago. All right, so why is it taking only 3 months to catch these people these days? Jesus Christ. 3 months. You can't even get away with simple crime for 3 months. You're already caught. Anyway, let me come to the chat, Jerry. Just ordinary 3 months. That's it? Otie Lembe. Rebecca says, so happy the criminal is caught. Yeah, that was just 3 months ago. Can you believe that? Yeah. It was probably blackmailing women in Liberia. Yeah, when they get away, when people are criminals, when they get away with one, because of greed and because of pride, they kind of like feel invincible. They think they can keep getting away with it, and yeah, it just doesn't last. Hey Jojo, good to see you, Jojo. He was smiling to cover his fear. Yeah, at least they would drag him woto now. Yep. I want to believe he used jazz. Maybe, who knows? Anything is possible, especially down that way, right? What did Empress see in this guy? He's a fine boy now, a little bit now. He's like a big guy. Maybe, it seems like he's a big guy, That sometimes, women just need to feel safe and secure, honestly. See, it's after things like this happen that you start to look like, it's not really a fine. If you feel safe and secure, leave that look thing alone. No? It's men that tend to care about looks at that level. But I yield. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me like, no, we care about look too. Okay, all right. I hear you. Let me ask how, and all those women, it's more like chicken buttocks. Yeah. Weirdo. That guy's a weirdo. It's obvious, right? Hey, Divine Dame Media, good to see you. Anyway, that's that news. The news is that he's caught just 3 months. That's it. With your limbe. Chicken. If you are going to act like mad in these streets, at least make sure at least 3 years. Get away with stuff for 3 years. Like Hush Puppy was getting away with crime for how long? That didn't last too, for that magnitude, but still, you get the gist. It's not worth it. But again, some people, like I said 3 months ago, some people just don't care about life. You need to protect yourself. Okay? Protect yourself. We still live in a men's world. Fortunately or unfortunately, it is what it is. So make sure that you're not just roaming around in a way that people can track your movements and try to take advantage of you or anything like that. And also work on yourself so that you can at least have the spirit of discernment. You need to be able to sniff and smell BS from afar. Okay? 10,000 miles away. You should be able to tell if a person is full of it. There's no reason why this kind of man should come into your world and be filming you and you can't tell that it's scamming other women. Something like your spirit of discernment is shot dead if you get caught up in this kind of entanglements. Okay, but yeah, I wanted to cover that really quickly. I think I might have one more and I'll be right back.
All right, I want to talk about. Did you guys see that another floating video around with Michelle Obama about modern marriage? You guys see that? Well, I wasn't going to cover it until I saw another guy who tends to push a lot of lame rhetorics. Until I saw him, I was like, you know what? I need to cover this too today. Anybody saw that today? Let's find it. His name is Coach Greg Adam. He's one of the Manosphere leaders. Coach Greg Adams. He says some things that make sense, and some other things is like, what are you talking about right now? Right? So I'm gonna show this really quickly.
4 more likes. Hey, married women, super chat me. I'll tell you what your husband does when you leave the house. All right. I want 1 woman to super chat me. I'll tell you what your husband does. Dudes are like, man, you a sellout. You a Sambo. Coach.
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man. What you going to do? Look out, boys. It's coming through. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All right, let's get back to the show. We got what do we got on the first thing up here right here? Ladies.
All right, so he's covering the Michelle Obama video, the one that was floating around the last few days. And I want us to review both at the same time. We're going to use one stone to kill 2 birds. Okay, so Michelle Obama and Coach Greg Adams, I guess. So let's talk about it. Let's see here.
Like, I want to know your husband. You're going to look at your husband a little bit differently. All right, marriage, guys. Modern marriage. Michelle Obama kicking the reel about modern marriage, guys. Modern marriage is dead. Undertaker Bill.
So modern marriage is dead, according to now. Coach Greg Adams is a divorcee. It's a divorcee coach on YouTube. Okay. So he tends to most of his rhetorics about marriage is from a half glasses empty type of deal. Okay. He's a divorcee with children, but he would never get married again, according to the video I've stumbled into. I don't really watch him religiously, but I do stumble into this video because I watched some other Manosphere material. But let me see here. I want to see if I can play the video of Michelle Obama fully first, because I know they will chop it up. No, let me just play. I'll play his own first, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see.
Even Michelle Obama will tell you that. Now, she's one of the bros, so we will give her props for revealing it. It says right here, Michelle Obama says young people aren't ready for the realness it takes to stay married. Quote, this.
Is that true? Is that a true statement or not? Are young people ready? Are young people ready to fair use? Are young people ready for what it takes to sustain marriage? I agree with that last statement you just made. Many young people, modern people in particular, yeah, that includes 45, 55-year-old men that are single, divorced. They're not ready. Okay, they're often not ready. Okay. So I agree with that so far.
This day and age, marriage is all about the dress, the proposal, and the honeymoon.
Glamorize marriage. And in this day and age, marriage is more about the dress and the dresses.
Yes.
And the proposal and the honeymoon and all the stuff around it. And young people aren't ready for the real of marriage. So I think, once again, it's incumbent upon us, people who have had successful marriages, to be really honest about.
Okay, so Coach Greg Adams completely skipped this part. He's going to try to skip this part. Okay, he's going to try to skip this part of what Michelle is saying here. She's saying something very important here, and I think it's important not to skip it. Let me go back a little bit.
Incumbent upon us, people who have had successful marriages.
People who have had successful marriages. Listen, you can learn anything from even a donkey, a madman on the side of the street. It's true. But when you're trying to add structure to this, you want to make it holistic. You want people that have come out on the other side that can showcase what success looks like, you want them to be a part of the teaching, right? You want them to be at least a part of it. And what we find these days is that many of them are just busy enjoying their life, and they're not ready. They are not ready for these streets. They don't want to be a part of all the messy talk on the internet. Okay, not especially if a married man comes on the internet, it's going to be called a simp. If a married woman comes on the internet, she's going to be called a pick-me. Am I lying? Modern people, I'm not lying now. Manosphere, somebody said manosphere is a version, it's just another version of this, almost the same thing as feminism. I think it's worse, in my opinion. The worst thing the worst thing you can have, like, women and men are not the same. You have the men of the society completely lost. That's just not good, okay? That's just not good. So we can't say it's the same thing. The manosphere is actually worse for us, for all of us, okay? Because we literally have our leaders in the yeah, we have work to do. So she's saying we need people that have had success.
I think, once again, it's incumbent upon us, people who have had successful marriages, to be really honest about the fact that making a commitment to be with someone means you compromise, and compromise ain't always fun.
Yeah.
And don't add kids into the mix.
Compromise ain't always fun. She didn't say it's never fun, right? She said it is not always fun. Well, welcome to real life, to the real world. It's not always fun, right?
Because they really mess up your life.
Well, let's talk about
who hurt Michelle Obama. Man, who hurt you? Who hurt this man? I mean, who hurt this woman?
Okay, so we have Coach Greg Adams is speaking sign language here. Shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. Condescension, sarcasm, right? All of that, right? These are the same thing that they will shame women for, you know? Who hurt? Basically, that's what they say to misogynistic men. Who hurt you? Well, if you ever get that question, you deserve that question. Who hurt you? You deserve that question. It's probably because you're moving mad and they can detect that something happened and you're not telling the full story. So they will ask you who hurt you. It is what it is, okay? Ejebure, drink some water on top of that. They can see it.
She definitely sounds bitter and hurt. This is exactly what I've been saying.
He's agreeing with Michelle Obama, but he's being sarcastic about it. He's trying to speak to women right now, but indirectly with some condescension.
I've been telling y'all that. And no, not me, coach, not my girl.
Remember, the message that Michelle Obama is saying is actually for all modern people in general, the modern young people, men and women. She wasn't talking to just women. Watch Coach Greg Adam make it all about women.
Telling y'all. And y'all been telling me I've been hurt. This is exactly what I'm saying. Y'all not ready. I'm telling you what marriage is. I'm giving you the real. It's not some fantasy bullshit.
Marriage is not some fantasy BS. It's just that people want to be married. Why? Because they are mad. They don't know that marriage is not a bed of roses. They just want to be married, right?
I think there's going to be a violin and a harp and an acoustic guitar through your whole marriage, even with your kids. You think you're going to raise your kids and there's going to be an acoustic guitar playing in the background lightly and your kids are going to be sitting there cooperating? No.
Like TV, like Hollywood, right? Like Nollywood, like Ramsey Noah and what's her name? Genevieve playing love. They play.
They're going to be sitting there pissing you off, throwing food, shitting on themselves, eating crayons, crying.
Eating crayons.
Okay. You guys romanticize everything. And then when the reality hits your ass and you're dealing with real life consequences, then you guys give up. That's the point of it. You give up. But the reality is that marriage is supposed to be hard as fuck.
Pause. Marriage is supposed to be hard, right? What a great way to encourage people to go marry. Well, we kind of know that Coach Greg Adam does not encourage people to go into marriage. We kind of know that. So So I'm not. It is what it is. But again, that's not what Michelle was saying. Michelle was saying people that are successfully married should kind of like step to the plate and start teaching people the real of it. The real of it is also not all bad and not all hard. Hard. Marriage is supposed to be hard, right? All right. So again, when people, the majority of people following him are people that can relate with him. Divorcees, I just felt like they were taken advantage of. It felt like they, it wasn't fair, right? And so naturally, they tend to come from a very pessimistic standpoint when it comes to marriage altogether. I just want you to be aware of what's out there and what's more popular on social media. Okay, he's not wrong, particularly. He's speaking from his experience. That's why they're asking him, "Who hurt you?" Right? Speaking from his experience, and many people have the experience that he's had, but it's not accurate to just say marriage is supposed to be hard. No, it's not.
It's plain of it. You give up, but the reality is that marriage is supposed to be hard as fuck. It's super duper hard.
False.
It ain't easy.
He said super duper hard.
It's not all shits and giggles. It's not all about flowers and candy, and it's not all about what the person does for the other person. It's what you do for them, meaning that what you're willing to do for them, that should be your focus, not what you're getting from him.
True.
Not that
Facts.
you're keeping score. I do this and he do.
He's right. Remember, I keep talking about that. He's right about this keeping score things. That said, you gotta be careful. Just like Michelle Obama is right that many people are not ready for the real. Yet they want the wedding and all of that kind of stuff, right? So
does that. I do the chores. I do 60% of the chores. He helps. He don't. That's not what marriage is.
It's not.
And if you think that is, you're keeping score in your marriage. Go get divorced now.
Right
Just
now.
End it.
He's right about that. I said that last week. You're better off being single. If you're going to go compete, actively competing, keeping scores with your partner, especially if you're trying to protect yourself so hard before you get into it. Right? So he's right about that part, right?
Trying to argue about who does what. This is despicable and disgusting. And I've been telling you, this is how modern people think of marriage. This is why the divorces are at where they are at. So
I have to
even
agree
Big
with him on
Mike,
that.
I mean, even Big Michelle, why do I keep saying that? Because y'all suggest
He's shaming Michelle. Well, let me just leave that alone.
that in my comment section. I didn't say it, Michelle. Yes, I did, but I didn't say it.
Because people glamorize marriage. And in this day and age, marriage is more about the dress and the dresses.
Yes.
And the proposal and the honeymoon and all the stuff around it. And young people aren't ready for the real of marriage. So I think, once again, it's incumbent upon us, people who have had successful marriages, to be really honest about the fact that making a commitment to be with someone means you compromise, and compromise ain't always fun.
Yeah.
And don't add kids into the mix, because they really mess up your life.
Well, let's talk about kids. Because people
So, yeah, man, I think people who glamorize marriage.
She said, don't add kids into the mix. They really mess up your life. So, they all sound extreme and stuff, we just need to add some context to. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. But I think what I really like mostly about what she said is that people that have done it successfully, she starts stepping up and doing something about it. And we don't have enough people, honestly. We need more people, because naturally speaking, people that have had negative experience will go viral, especially if they're coming from a place of being pessimistic. They'll go viral faster, more because obviously when you can relate from a place of pain and fear, it's just more impressionable. It's just what it is. And if somebody comes to you and say, oh, it's all sweet and dirty, and they're coming off like they're trying to balance the conversation, it's boring. It's boring. So you're going to need a lot more people to combat the level. And the truth is that social media is part of the things to be blamed for the high rates of divorce and the struggle that people are having in dating. That's the truth. It's creating fear, because the most viral news are exactly what they are. All right. So let me see. Jojo says, I agree, true. This man is a straight idiot. For the most part, he is an idiot. But like I always say, the reason why they are impressionable because there's a lot of truth and facts in what they're saying. There's the interpretations that tend to be off, and that's why we're hiding context here. Or they lack context, proper context for at least people that are trying to do things the right way. The most you're going to get out of Coach Greg Adams is to avoid marriage. If you're a man following him, the most you're going to get out of it is to avoid marriage so you can live a free agent lifestyle. That's part of his brand, free agent lifestyle. And there's a good chance you can't really be him. You're a lover boy. You want a wife that will fall in love with you, right? He might call you a simp, right? Because you want that. So what you want is what you want, and there are ways to do it properly and achieve what you're looking for, right? So we shall see. I agree again. They are so real. Of course, he will start attacking her. Yeah, he couldn't help. He had to attack her. What did Michelle Obama say that is wrong here? She's being very realistic. She's definitely on point. He was agreeing with her. Yeah, he was agreeing with her, but from a very condescending, sarcasm, extreme, basically his mission is to discourage you from marriage. Okay. For me, yeah, I don't like to come off as I'm selling marriage too, because I believe that you need to see the value in it before you go into it. I don't like the idea of selling it. I'd rather sell you self-love, right? Then if you have that and you're able to figure that out, you're probably a good candidate for marriage. You probably won't last in the marketplace too, right? So yeah, so don't keep scores. If you're gonna keep scores, mainly I agree with mainly what he said. On that video. So let's keep talking. I'll be back here again tomorrow night for another session. I'm 8 minutes over time. Okay, we cover what, like three? How many topics did we cover today? We'll cover quite a few of them, and maybe in a few days we'll be back to some afternoon stuff. I know you guys love the afternoons, but let me see how many people are here. Not bad. We don't do more than this in the afternoon either, But shout out to you. Do me a favor, okay? As you're here right now, hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. I think shout out to all 21 people that have hit the like button. But help me share on your posts. Share on your posts. All right. And again, look out for the courses, okay? The courses, I'm not sure. Okay, so what I'll do is, some part of it will be, I will say right now, go ahead and join the membership already. Okay, membership is like what, $1, $2? I forgot. Something stupid cheap like that. $1, $2. Just go ahead and join. Just click on the join under the videos and join the membership. I think some parts of the course will be free, and then the other parts will be for members only, just to to incentivize membership. Yeah, shout out to D-Love. She opened up our membership. She was the first member of the channel, and shout out to all the members that have joined since then. And thanks for the support always. But I want to make sure that we're bringing some good material for you. I want to make sure that we're growing as individuals. If it's only one of you that keep coming back here, I want you to be able to say, you know what, my perspective has been, I can see a little bit better, on what's going on. I think there's a lot of fear in the marketplace. People are afraid. People don't want to get hurt. I completely get it, The dating scene is quite different from 16 years ago when I left the market. But I've been listening to you guys. I know what your problems are. Majority of it is fear. And I too know. You know too much. Okay? And you can't unknow what you don't know. The only thing we can do is convert what you've known into wisdom. We can convert it into practice experience, and we can convert it to real life results, right? We can help you interpret what you know a little bit better. So that's what we're here. I think we might be due for another Lola and Ola session. Okay. So very soon we'll be coming together again to just chat it up with wife, for that period of time. And let me know if there's any topics or anything like that. Always let me know. You can leave comments on any of the posts, leave comments, stuff like that. If you see anything that looks like generalized on other platforms, it's okay that it starts the conversation. Let's finish it here. Let's continue the conversation here. We never really finished the conversation, right? Let's continue here. The ultimate of today's lesson is this, right? Context matters. Context matters. When somebody say marriage is hard, ask them, what do you mean? So why should I go into marriage if it's that hard, right? If it's just this bad hard. When somebody say 39 years of foolishness is what's going to take, like, what do you mean? So if it's 39 years of foolishness, why would I? That doesn't make sense. Like, what exactly are you selling me right now, right? So Jojo says, thanks, man. Your contents are not restricted to only Nigeria. That's why I love your contents. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes, we cover everything. We're modern people. We're global. We global, man. Right? We're global now, So it really doesn't matter. We'll talk about relationship. It's the same thing everywhere. Don't let them deceive you. Even in single and dating and into marriage, it's slightly different. One you can exit faster, the other one you can't. It's the same thing. Same skill set. Okay? And a major part of it is conflicts and crisis handling. It's how you respond to when things go left. It's not everything sweet and dandy all the time, obviously. But if you can respond to those few negative moments, because majority of it is going to be good times, but those few negative moments tends to take over everything and start to make you feel like this is just all bad because they're negative, and your mind tends to take on negative faster than positive, right? But there's more to the conversation, Sha, Anyway, so since we've done some justice today, hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.